Uh, this is the College of Computing. This is computer science. This is our proposal. Uh, our first draft proposal for our project of the maize disease, maize disease, uh, maize leaf blight, and the maize streak disease. Diagnosis and analysis. Next slide. As we said that this is our team made of Mbarak and Tanda, Timothy, and me, Samuel Ushtiwa. Next slide. This is our roadmap, starting from the project background to the methodology, through through where the questions and then the data description. Next slide. Our project background is that maize is one of the most important grain crops in the region, and in 2016, our combined production was 13 million tons. That is for the East African region, and we have found that since this maize crop is one of the most important and most grown crop and most consumed in the East African region, and there are also very many varieties for the open penetrative varieties. So we have looked and we have seen that most of the challenges, all of production challenges in maize production is diseases. Although there have been very many challenges, but the most impactful of all has been diseases, and this project study is focused on maize leaf blight and the maize streak disease. Next slide. Next slide. The significance of our study in the East African among the East African small scale farmers, that the smartphone which they shall use shall be able to detect these two diseases, especially diagnosing them, because most of these diseases have their impact, especially most diseases. It has the biggest impact when it is on the early stages of the plant. So it is better to track it at a very early stage. So for the agriculture sector, it will help to modernize the agriculture sector and provide actual disease diagnosis, eliminating inefficiencies that have been inefficiencies in other methods which have been used like human observation. So this will help to improve the production of maize, and for the machine learning community, it will be used to create a new machine learning model which will be able to have model explainability and be deployed to add value to the machine learning community. So my friend Brad can take over from there.
Thank you very much, Sam. I hope everyone is getting me. So Sam has taken us through the significance, the background, and previous slides. So we shall go to the next slide. We are looking at the project scope. Hope everyone is getting me. This study will mainly focus on the automated detection of maize streak virus and leaf blight, and it will mainly assist farmers in the early diagnosis and prevention of diseases, and also provide an evaluation of how the data acquired in these regions affects system performance, and this will be done via the model explainability. And also, we shall provide a means through which the data on other factors like weather or the given region affects the emergence of certain maize diseases, of maize streak and leaf blight diseases. Because as we are going to show in our research, we shall show how the different regions affect the performance of our measure, and we also like to know how these diseases emerge based on the data we shall collect from the different regions. And to accomplish this, our scope will mainly use the convolutional neural networks, and actually these are some of the best artificial neural networks that have been used for image classification. For example, in the AlexNet, if you look at the AlexNet that was used, it had a better performance in the image classification. We shall also use the Keras and the TensorFlow libraries to design a deep learning model from scratch. And this model will be trained and tested on the dataset. This dataset was provided by Airlab, Makere, and it contains data that was collected around the regions in Uganda, the maize growing regions in Uganda, and we documented that in our proposal. Now, the accuracy of our model will be compared to those of the existing pre-trained models, the CNN models, and specifically we shall compare it to the AlexNet, the famous AlexNet, and the VGG16 to see how these models perform compared to ours, and after that we shall choose the best performing model, and we shall be using it for model explainability to examine why and how the model acts when trained on data from certain regions. The study will also cover the model deployment, where both the mobile application and a web application will be used. Now, also our scope will cover the REST APIs. Here, REST APIs will be designed to fetch data from the mobile application on the farmer side to an external database that we're going to have. And the web application will be used to monitor the data in the database. Now, the problem statement, now, like how we have seen in the background, the common maize production challenges among small-scale farmers include variables like uneven rainfall, the use of weak genetic materials, the field and storage pests, and also there is weed and diseases and damaged natural resources, and these occur mainly due to decline in soil fertility, as we have cited there. But this study won't focus on all those factors. We shall mainly focus on the maize disease, specifically the maize streak and the northern leaf blight, since these are being considered to be the most important and widely spread maize diseases in the sub-Saharan region, where East African region is inclusive, and we're able also to cite that research. And also, according to a study that was conducted in 2014 by the African Journal of Agricultural Research, it was discovered that maize streak disease causes an annual loss of up to around $480 million to small-scale farmers in the sub-Saharan region. And you can see that this is a significant loss. And actually, it's one of the main reasons why we are carrying out research. We're trying to eliminate such losses. And also, it causes food insecurities, because if at all we have these diseases, there will be food insecurities. And also, according to a study that was conducted by the Farmers for Change Party, this study was conducted in 2022. It's a recent study. It was discovered that maize output has declined in East African areas in recent years, and this mainly is due to the farmers' lack of knowledge about the detection of disease. Farmers have been mainly relying on the use of their knowledge. They use their eyes and all that to detect these diseases, but this has proved to be insignificant and not having a great impact in the diagnosis and the early diagnosis and prevention of the diseases. Is everyone on? Okay, the next slide is about the next slide is about the research questions. Now, these are the research questions that we're going to look at. The first one is, how can we design and train a machine learning model from scratch for the categorization of image data? How can we categorize the image data using machine learning models? We shall also see how we can compare the different machine learning models with the different pre-trained machine learning models with the model that we designed from scratch. And we shall also be able to choose a suitable model, or to recommend a suitable model, which will later be modified to include in the model explainability part. And now the model explainability part will mainly cover the will mainly be showing how the different regions, or the data for the different regions, affects the performance of our model. If instead of training the model on trained data set. We break the trained data set into batches of different regions. We also want to see how we can deploy the machine learning model into an application, mobile application. And also we shall see how we can generate a new data set to determine other elements that affect maize diseases. Now, the hypothesis, we have two hypotheses. The first one is that poor diagnosis and late detection of maize streak and leaf blight disease have a negative impact on maize production. Of course, this has been proven. And also the second hypothesis is that machine learning techniques are the most efficient way for the early diagnosis of maize leaf and maize streak diseases. And this is what we want to prove. Now, the research objectives. The first or the main objective of this research is to design an intelligent system that is capable of not only detecting and classifying the affected maize leaves or the maize plants, but also that can be able to provide farmers with real-time data on how to solve these diseases. And also we shall supply farmers with recommendations on how to properly cultivate maize. Now, the other objectives are to conduct data analysis and cleaning, because we need to analyze our data and also clean it to remove the inconsistencies. And also we shall design and train a machine learning model from scratch for image classification. And another objective is to explore other pre-trained machine learning models that can be used for image classification and compare their accuracies with that of our model to determine which model is most suitable for the image classification. And after choosing that suitable model, we shall modify it to add in model explainability in order to determine how the model performs when given data from different regions. We shall also our last objective will be to deploy the created model into a mobile application and a web application. Now, the dataset description. The dataset that we have is composed of maize image data, and it also contains an Excel file for each class collected. And this dataset was mainly collected from regions, the key maize growing regions around Uganda. Now, each instance in the Excel file has a crop image that has a class, for example, whether it's healthy, whether it's afflicted with a leaf blight or maize streak, as well as the crop variety, the age, and the location where that image was taken. Now, the dataset contains around 15,821 images, maize images, of which 33.8 are healthy, 32.9 are maize leaf blight, and 33.3 are maize streak, as we have illustrated in the table. Now, this is our proposed timeline, our proposed research timeline. Between Jan 1st to Feb 10, we shall carry out the data analysis, the exploratory data analysis, where we shall analyze the data and also pre-process it. Now, around Feb 10 to March 24, we shall be designing our model, the model from scratch. Then around March 24 to May 1st, we shall do the model evaluation, where we shall evaluate the performance of our model with that of the pre-trained models. And also we shall, from Jan 1st to July 20th, we shall be carrying out the model explainability. Then from July 20th to September 10, we shall be deploying our model to a mobile application and a web application. And during this period, that's where we shall design the mobile and the web application. Now, this is our methodology. Our methodology involves exploratory data analysis, where the data set will be analyzed using libraries like pandas, and also it will be pre-processed to remove any inconsistencies like duplicate values, or if at all it contains null values, they will also be removed. And also we shall design a CNN model, and here we shall mainly use the CNN, Keras, and TensorFlow libraries, and design a new machine learning model from scratch, and its matrices such as the accuracy will be recorded. And this will be recorded because we shall need it to evaluate the performance of our model. We shall also introduce pre-trained models or algorithms like the VGG16 and the AlexNet, and we shall compare their accuracies or their performance with that of our model to determine which model performs better at the image classification. And also we shall do the model explainability, where we shall determine how the performance of our model is affected when we train our model on data from different regions. And also we shall in the model deployment, we shall choose the suitable model, and then we shall serialize it for deployment onto a mobile application, and later this application will be made available to farmers. Then lastly, we shall do the web application design. Here we shall, the application will be designed using Django, and it will enable, it will be provided to NARO, or the National Agricultural Research Authority. It will be provided to NARO, where they can be able to monitor how the data collected on the database across the region. Now, these are some of the references we made. Most of them will be provided in the proposal. And also, lastly, these are the credits. We send our sincere gratitude or special thanks to Dr. Joyce, because she provided some advice on how we can handle this research, and she was actually willing to donate her time, and we really appreciate her for that. We also like to express our gratitude to the AI Research Lab, because they allowed us to access their datasets and the resources to carry out this project. Okay, thank you very much. I think that's it.